And there you go. Okay, I think this is working. Double check. Yes, it is. Okay, so welcome everyone. As you know, we do these calls, and I've done them for over 20 years, I think almost 30 years. Every Thursday, once on LinkedIn, this I started recently, and once on our own conference Bridge, all at the same time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. And the conference Bridge right now is at 202-800-8394. If we get interrupted, LinkedIn audio has a very poor history. When there's a lot of us here, it tends to crash. If we get disconnected, I'll just log into 202-800-8394. All you need to do is call that number and you'll be admitted to the conference. Okay. With that, let's get started with the questions. I am going to do this as many days a week as I can, at least 4 days a week. And not at a particular time. Whenever I get the time, I'll open this this facility, and hopefully whoever is available can float in, and we'll be able to manage as many calls as we can per week. Okay. So let's start with Munish ji. Munish, go ahead, please. Munish AG. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Rajiv. So my question is regarding the investment and how the clauses should be in the agreement for owning for investing in US being on work visa. So basically, I am on H1.
Okay. No, I got it. So the way this works is, we've discussed this many times before. It's in our frequently asked questions also. Essentially, if it is a passive investment, what does passive mean? Passive means you don't get to make any decisions. Okay. So think about it this way. If you buy, 100 stocks in IBM, 100 shares in IBM, you don't get to go to IBM headquarters and say, you know what, guys, move over. I'll be running the company today. Right? You can't do that. I hope not. Okay. So when there is distance between investment and control, it is a passive investment. That's the way I see it. So if you are going to enter into an agreement, it should be very clear. And I would advise you to have a lawyer take a look at it from the immigration perspective. Take a look and make sure it's indeed a passive investment. It says clearly, I'll invest the money and I will not be involved in running of the business or the day-to-day operations, something like that. Okay?
Makes sense.
Good luck, sir. Yep. Just as soon as you're done, please move yourself down so I can then add more people. Sujit ji, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Rajiv. I have my H1 is picked and I have done petition filing with premium processing, and I got an RFE related to specialty occupation, and response has not yet. And also I have an F1 visa. I'm still in India. I have got an F1 visa in the last January, but due to medical reasons, I did not travel. And meanwhile, I got this H1 opportunity. So will there be an issue with immigration or anywhere, like why I did not utilize F1? Why am I switching to H1?
Sujit, the thing is, look, non-utilization of an existing visa is not a black mark against you. Okay. Now, consulate can create a problem out of anything, but reasonably speaking, this is not an issue at all, in my opinion. Okay. So don't worry.
Okay. If mine is approved, so I still have to submit my RFE. But if it is approved, I think will I be eligible for Dropbox, or should I have to go through? Well, because I did not.
If they still have that program, so Dropbox comes in 2 formats. Okay. One format was simply that you had a visa in the same category before for X number of years. It used to be 1, now I think it's 2. It's not expired for more than 2 years. So if you're going for a H1 to H1, that's one flavor. Another flavor is where you have had at least one visa of any type approved. You are applying from your home country, which you are, and you've never had a visa denial. You also qualify for Dropbox. So currently that program is still active. You should qualify for Dropbox as far as I know. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you need to hang up, sir, because I need to move on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Venkataji, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Raju, sir. So actually, I got a notice of intent to revoke like after 4.5 years. So my employer submitted, responded to that RFE, and I'm waiting for the decision. It's been like almost 4 months.
One second, Venkata. Notice of intent to revoke what?
For my initial petition, like
Are you
when
talking
they went
about
to site visit.
Are you talking about an H1B or an I-140? What are you talking about?
H1B, sorry.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So yeah, go ahead.
So actually, my employer responded for that, and we are waiting for the decision. And it's been like 4 months. So my question is, if I go to stamping on my current valid petition, visa stamping, would that be create any problem or any issue, or I can go ahead and go for stamping on my current petition? And that was expired like long back, so like 3 years back.
It's impossible for me to predict. I don't know what the problem is. What I suggest, you talk to your lawyers. If your lawyers are competent, they should know the consequences of applying for a visa, or at least predict the chances. So it's not something I would advise you to do without careful consideration, because leaving the United States while you have things in suspense could become a problem for you. So be careful, ask your lawyers, and then act accordingly. Okay?
Okay.
Good
Thank
luck. You're welcome. Hemendra, go ahead, please. Guys, move yourself down.
Yeah, hi Rajiv. Thanks for time. So I have one question related to H1B. So I got my H1 picked in the second lottery with Amazon, but my start date is on November 12th. So in this case, when will Amazon will process my H1, and what will be the start date of my H1?
Okay, so the way this normally works, and I don't know the... Hemendra, mute yourself, please. Okay, so the way this would work normally is that when the lottery is finished, the government will tell you within 90 days you must file an H1B. Things have become a little topsy-turvy because this is the second lottery. So now the 90 days allow, you could file in the first 2 days if you want, and you could file premium processing. So it all depends upon whether there's an LCA already in existence. They have to do a new LCA, which adds about 7 days to the filing time. So to answer your question, which was when will they file, they can file as quickly as they want, but they can't file beyond 90 days. That's the typical time the government gives. Does that answer your question, Hemendra?
So like my start date is on November 12th, right? So before that, they can file my my H1 starts?
Yeah, absolutely. You are currently what, on OPT? What is your
F1? Yeah, OPT.
Yeah, so OPT. What they can do is, when does your OPT expire, sir?
It will expire, like it started on July 14th this year.
Acha, you plenty of time. Okay, so yeah, the way they would do it is, remember, you can ask for an H1B start date up to 6 months ahead of your filing. So if I file in January, I can say, let my H1B start in June. Okay, so it's up to them. Anytime up to 6 months.
Got it. Yeah.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah.
Move yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, move yourself down, please. Anil Kumar. Anilji.
Hello, Rajiv. Thank you for doing this. I had one question. Now the H1B second lottery has happened and my employer is still yet to get back. Meanwhile, in May, I got my master's. Initial lottery, I was not put into the master's bucket. But in the subsequent lottery, will I be eligible for that master bucket or not?
This is the way I understand the process to be. Excuse me, because I'm not involved in filling out lottery forms and all, but this is the way I understand the process to be. So if we had a client who was going to get, let's say the first lottery is run in April, and I have to file the application within 90 days afterwards, and I know that by the time the paperwork is filed, final paperwork is filed, he will have his master's degree. I would actually put him in master's degree even though he does not have a master's degree yet. This is clear? Anil? You understand that?
Yes,
Okay.
Rajivji. Yeah, got
However,
it.
once you have picked a category, I am not sure you can go back and change it for the second lottery. I don't think you can. But this world is full of surprises. Doesn't hurt to check. Always check and double check. I don't think you're going to be able to change categories on the run, but you can try, right?
Sure, Rajivji. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Chandra Bhushan, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. So I am on F1 OPT and it is ending on 21st September. Meanwhile, this is my last year and my H1B is picked and approved. However, unfortunately, I got laid off in workforce reduction and my employment would be ending on August 15.
Okay.
So they will be revoking my H1B petition on like after 30 days of my employment last date, which is 15th September. And I am trying to look for opportunities, but many are not turning back because of my visa issue. So my question is that I am trying to figure out some way where I can like preserve my status.
Well, you could go back to school on curricular practical training kind of program. I always advise people, if you want to go for CPT, make sure it enhances your career. So don't have a degree in geology and next thing you're doing is, I don't know, a degree in political science. That just doesn't sit well together. So if there is a progression in your career, go ahead and do CPT. Otherwise, you can also do a B1, B2 if you don't want to invest money into that. You can do a B1, B2 and keep looking for a job. Once the job is in hand, you will have to go and get visa stamping in all possibility. But that's not the end of the world. You could do that.
How do we get like this B1 and B2? Like,
okay, our website, right? Immigration.com.
Yeah.
Okay, you go to immigration.com. On the very top ribbon, you will see Rajiv's blog. Click on my blog and you will see about the third or the fourth entry says applying for B1, B2. Okay. It tells you exactly what forms to file, what you should be saying, and it tells you exactly what the consequences are. If you still have issues, just come back and talk to me again. We are doing these calls every Thursday, but I plan to arrange increase the frequency of these calls because this is just not enough. I'm not able to talk to everybody who needs to talk to me. So we'll just increase the frequency. But go ahead and take a look at my blog entry. And if something is coming up persistently and it's a problem for a lot of people, I'll just write it out so you can go take a look at my blog, okay? And if you guys can think of anything that we can do to make our process of outreach to people more efficient, please everybody think about it, and let me know. Many of you are connected to me already. Feel free to connect with me. And, we can talk about it. I would love to be able to help more people. Unfortunately, this is all the time we have. So, but go ahead and take a look at the B1, B2. That blog entry, that should explain everything to you. Okay?
Also want to mention that I did talk to my DSO and my DSO said that for the previous program that I was at my university, they cannot activate the CPT since my OPT is ending.
Yeah.
So
No, wait. They are wrong. Your DSO needs to go back to DSO school. That is incorrect. Okay? The weirdness in the system is this. If you have taken a year of CPT, you are not able to get OPT. But if you have taken OPT, STEM OPT, you can still get CPT. That's just not true what they're telling you. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. Tell him to talk to somebody else. You can even show him online. There's plenty of I like many of the universities have very good information online. You can University of Berkeley is one. MIT has a good DSO, quite informational. These are the two. University of Michigan is another one. There's some good information out there. You can show it to your DSO and say, look, if I do OPT and then do CPT, there's no limit. But if I do CPT, I can't get OPT. I understand that. So I have done my OPT. I'm looking for CPT. Government allows me to do that. Okay?
Sure. Thank you, Rajiv.
Yeah, you're welcome. Chiranjeevi, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Thank you for conducting this sessions. I have one question. I'm currently on STEM OPT, first year STEM OPT. I have one more year of my OPT, and I'm from a civil engineering background. I have been working for the same employer since I graduated, which is almost like 2.5 years. My employer has filed my H1B last year, and also for the lottery last year, and also for this year. But for this year, one other consultancy has also filed my lottery, but they have filed multiple through their companies. But in my second lottery this year, my full-time company got picked up. So I'm confused to go ahead and start my process. Could you please shed some light and show me and put me in the right direction, sir?
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover this entire area. I've done it many times before, but this is the way I analyze the situation. So I've done a bunch of consultations with people. These are my standard questions when somebody calls. Number one question is, if multiple companies have filed for you, are they related with each other in any way? Do they have similar projects? Do they have the same officers, same stockholders? Any kind of connection. If there is a connection, then you've got a problem. And I'll come to the area. I'll give the answer in the end. So then you have a problem if they are related, number one. Number two, did they really have jobs for you, or were they just making stuff up? To the best of your knowledge, if they had genuine job offers for you, no problem. Okay. Then we go on to the next step. I always ask people, did you call the companies or did they call you? Okay. And often the response I'm getting is because I had my resume floating around, they called me. All right. Did they call you on your cell phone? Okay. Yes. All right. So that means you have a record of incoming calls. Oh, I'm not sure. Call your cell phone company. Get your record. Okay. Next thing, did the companies interview you? Did they look at your resume? Did they talk to you? And if they did, that's good, because that means they were genuinely looking for employees. Next thing, now if the companies are not related and everything is up and up, also, did they ask you to pay any money? If they asked you to pay money, forget about it, walk away from this deal. Don't file for an H1B, okay? Because that's absolutely illegal. Then comes if everything else is, if this is all working out, filing multiple is okay. But like in your case, you have the main employer that you're already working for and all these ancillary companies. You must, in my opinion, that's just the way I think, you should tell the employer, look, I had other applications pending. I just want you to know. Because what's going to happen is, if you have multiple entries, you are going to get a notice of intent to deny, or something like that, or an RFE. So your employer should be ready, willing, and able to respond. Okay. So should you file? And the answer is, well, that's something you should talk with your employer and your lawyers about. They should make the decision. But I've given you the analysis, the way I analyze the situation. When you have related companies filing for you, I'm very reluctant to file an H1B. Not this year. That's the way I see it. Okay.
Yep. Thank you for this information, sir. I have one more follow-up.
Sure.
Since I've been working for the same company since I graduated, this is the time, like few consultancies, they have, I think one company, like I had email conversations that they have a valid job, and the interview was done, and like it was a valid job, but that's just with one company. But I'm not confident about all of the all different companies that they have.
I am reluctant to be careless about this. I think, like I said, your lawyers have to play a very major role in this, because they are the ones who have to decide what they can defend and cannot defend. They will need to sit down with you, look at these companies, look at your background, make a decision for you. Okay? I cannot help you beyond this.
Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Good luck. Lokesh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi Rajiv ji. Actually, I have a friend sitting with me, so he has few questions, so I'm just passing it to him.
Haji.
Hello, Rajiv sir.
Hello, sir.
Actually, I entered here in USA on F1 visa. My my program start date was 10th of July. I entered here on 22nd of July.
Okay.
I still have not enrolled in that university, which is Northeastern University. I'm trying to take a transfer to a different university. But the Northeastern University DSO, she's not allowing me to really. I mean, she's not releasing my service so that they can accept it. So what should I do in this? She told me that I have to go back to my home country, do the visa and stamping again. And she also told me that my service ID is expired, which I think it is not.
Okay, well, first of all, I know people, and actually somebody in the community was talking about it also, who have changed universities fairly quickly after entering the United States. Can you do it before you even join? I do not know the answer to that question. I'll have to look it up, number one. Number two, your best source of information would be the DSO of the school to which you want to transfer. Okay? So let's call it the second school. So what you should do is contact the DSO in the second school. Okay?
The DSO in the second school, she already said that, she also said the same thing, that you have to travel to your home country, get a new visa, I mean, do the visa interview or Dropbox, whatever. And with this, the I-20, which they will be providing me, and on that thing, you have to come back. That is what the DSO of the other university told me. Because the first university, they are not releasing my service.
1 second. I'm just making a note of this. I'll double check it. Changing schools after entry without joining. So what I'll do is just watch my without entering. Just watch my LinkedIn stream. I'll put the answer out for you. Okay.
Okay. Secondly, what I am thinking is to go ahead and enroll in the first university and then ask them, because what I
that
think
is done. That is done all the time. That is absolutely okay. Yeah,
because what I feel that my service is on initial. Once I enroll in their university somehow, because they says that the date has passed and everything, but if somehow I get enrolled, my service will be on active, and then I will be able to transfer.
Yeah, absolutely. That is done all the time. Let me tell you where the DSOs may be misreading the regulations. So if you look at the regulations, HCFR, is it 214? I think it's 214.2. So if you look at these regulations online, they clearly say that the first time you enter the United States, the name of the university on your visa stamp and the name of the university on your I-20 must be the same. Okay? But once you enter, then things change. Next time you can enter on any other university's name. So that shouldn't be a problem. However, your idea about joining and then transferring is perfectly okay. That people do all the time.
Yes. So I think I'm already late 20 to 22 days. Will they accept my, I mean, this time will they let me
That's totally
go?
up to the school. I have no idea what they will do.
Okay. So I have to request this to them.
Good luck.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Senthil, go ahead, please. Senthil.
Thank you, sir. I contacted you through a message, and then you guided me through the EB1 process. So I'm coming to US on 17th August. I wrote my EB1A petition myself. So can I drop after reaching United States in 10 days? Is that possible?
Are you... hang on a second. Are you coming to the US on a student visa, or how are you coming to the US?
No, H1B for a work.
H1B. So yeah, once you enter the United States, you can file, no problem. Absolutely.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, because
there will not be any.
Yeah. H1B is a dual intent visa. You're allowed to file for a green card anytime.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Pavan.
Hi, Rajiv.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Thank you for taking the session. So, Rajiv, actually, I have a very quick question. So, currently, my STEM OPT expired on 5th of July. And I'm on day 1 CPT. So, that is smooth. I'm already enrolled into a college that is going on. But I came to US on 2018. So, my visa is expired in 2023. And and I really want to visit India, but my travel visa is expired. So can I renew my travel visa? I have the new I-20
You see,
and everything.
Pawan, so difficult to answer. Hang on 1 second. For some reason, Siri wants to talk to me. Give me one. Oh,
To who?
I don't want to talk to you. Siri, cancel.
I don't have an answer.
God,
Even
stupid
she doesn't
bots.
have an answer for that.
Well, I had one time I had Siri and Google and this
Yeah.
Alexa all talking at the same time. It was so idiotic. Anyhow, back to what we were talking about. So it's so difficult to predict the outcome of a visa stamping application because there are so many variables. Today I had a conversation with a young man whose lawyer screwed up his H1B filing. And he just finished his bachelor's degree here. They screwed up his H1B, which can happen, when you move so much paperwork, it can happen in our office, it can happen in anyone's office. So he wanted to know, what should I do? I said, well, you have two choices. His visa had also expired. He does want to go back to India. So what I told him was, if you want to apply for a student visa, don't do this. Don't start your CPT and then apply for a visa. Since you are willing to take a break, just go to India for 6 months, take a break.
Yeah.
And then start a master's program, regular master's program, and go apply for a visa. You would have a good case because you've been here for 4 years. His GPA was okay, 3.4, 3.5. GPA is okay, you are a serious student. So when you go back after 6 months, you apply for a master's degree. That's probably a good case. In your case, it is very difficult for me to predict how the visa officer is going to look at your case. Are you a serious student? Have you been maintaining status? Is your GPA good? Did you go to good schools? These are not directly relevant, but they bear on the decision. So it's very difficult for me to, if you can avoid, Pawan, if you can avoid getting visa stamping done until you actually get on to H1B, I would take that route if I were you.
Oh, got it. Because it's a Day-1 CPT school, that's why you think that the showing the intent to the officer is difficult?
Yeah, it's difficult because if 2018, 5 years you've been here, right? So it's just, I don't know. It's a long shot, I think.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's the thing. And just one very quick follow-up question to that. So currently I'm on Day-1 CPT. I'm already working with the employer since I graduated. Day-1 CPT I can only work for 40 years, right?
Well, I'm not aware of a limitation on the number of hours. Okay. Because, professional positions are treated a little differently than normal positions. So I'm not sure there is a limit. As far as I know, there shouldn't be. I mean, there can be.
Because my previous school.
You can have. If you have a full-time CPT, then it's not. I don't think there's any limit on the number of hours you can work. The maximum.
Oh, that's great. Because my. Yeah. So CPT, I'm currently working for 40 hours, but my previous school, not this Day-1 CPT, so they actually had a course. They wanted me to come in as an action faculty. So that's maybe 3 or 5 hours per week. I'm not sure if I can do that.
You mean, can you hold 2 jobs on CPT? Is that what you're asking me?
No, so one job will be just 40 hours, but my previous schools, that was they wanted me to come and teach a course as an action faculty. So that will be more than 40 hours, right?
Can you do it on CPT? Well,
yes.
I don't know the answer to that. Let me tell you a website where you can go to find this out.
Yes, please.
Okay, just Google one word, or Bing or whatever your search engine is. Just one word: study in the States. Okay, study in the States. That will bring you to dhs.studyinthestates.gov. They have perspective of both the DSO and the student. So you can actually go to the forms that the DSO fills out online to give you CPT status. So see what those forms, what kind of options those forms have.
Study in the States, okay.
Yeah.
But as per your experience, you don't think there is any kind of limitation, right?
No, I'm not aware of any limitations. I certainly, I would love to find out. If you find out something, let me know. If you're not connected with me, connect with me. Just drop me a direct message. Okay.
No, I'm already connected.
Oh, good.
I'm already connected.
Yeah,
okay, thank you, Rajiv. I think this is fine.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Pushpa, go ahead, please. Pushpa Muddi ready?
Yes. Hello. Hi, sir. This is Avinash.
Are?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Bait and switch? Pushpa and Avinash come?
No, she's my wife.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hi. So I work in at a university on H1B cap exempt visa. Yeah. Lately, I'm wondering if there is a chance for me to move to for-profit organizations, but I'm not sure how easy it is or how difficult it is.
Avinash, let me tell you another weirdness in the H1B process. I've talked about this before. First of all, you can always go from one non-quota employer to another non-quota employer. No problem.
Okay.
But if you want to go to a quota employer, you have two options.
Okay.
One option is to go through the lottery like everybody else.
True. Okay.
Second option, and this is where the oddness comes in, it is allowed for you to have a for-profit or a quota job concurrent with the non-quota job.
Okay.
So let's say I'm working for the university and that's a non-quota H1B. If I file an H1B through IBM, it will be approved as a concurrent H1B if I ask for it. As long as I keep both jobs, I can work for both for-profit quota or non-quota together. But I've got to keep both jobs. If I stop working for quota exempt, then my quota H1B goes away unless I've gone through the lottery. Okay. Now let me also tell you one more thing. Is there a law that says I've got to work 40 hours for the university? You could drop it down to 20 or 10, but the university must file an H1B amendment if there's that much, reduction in hours. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's all. So if they reduce you to 10 hours, you could be working 40 hours for IBM, sure, concurrently.
Okay. So let's say the first scenario, I file a H1B with a quota employer, right? Let's say in the scenario, let's say it got picked. So the H1B would be approved in the October, right? So what is the status is gonna what is the effect on the status in between?
Let me unconfuse your answer, okay? Because sometimes even to know what to ask, you have to know what the law is. So let me just back you up a little bit. Okay. So let's say I'm working for the university. I'm happy. No problems. In April, IBM got me my H1B lottery. Okay. They filed for my H1B. First of all, that H1B doesn't begin till October 1st.
Yes.
Okay. So come October 1st, I'm still working for the university. Okay.
Yeah.
I can actually write an email to IBM saying, look, I can join you on December 1st because I have to finish up some stuff in the university.
Okay.
Just because IBM's H1B is approved doesn't mean the university's H1B is overruled. They can both coexist. You can only work for one, but just because one is approved doesn't overrule the previous one. So therefore, you could actually work for the university till December 1 or January 1 or even March 1, as long as IBM is willing to accommodate you.
Got it. So would they be running payroll concurrently? Or,
No. You can't do concurrent. Concurrent is a different kind of an H1B. They have to mark a different check mark. These will be successive H1Bs. You will choose one. You will stay with the university, then join IBM and leave the university.
Okay. So, so in spite of not working for a company, the H1B is still valid.
Yes, because they are accommodating you. The company can't put you on bench, but you can put yourself on bench if you want.
Oh, got it. Okay. So I won't be running a payroll, but I'll be on the bench. Oh, this is really
it's not really on bench. Basically, you would not have joined them yet.
Yeah, got it. So there's still a possibility.
Yeah, I had somebody in this situation for over 1 year, and we were able to get them. We were able to get them transferred, no problem at all.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
So if there's a complication in this, for example, my organization is willing to file I-140 on EB2. So in the future, somewhere down the line, is there a hassle-free movement from non-quota to quota in the process, like before GC is approved? Like there are many stages, right? You'll be your I-140 will be filed, it will be approved. You have 180 days
So
after.
what do you mean by hassle-free stage? Do you mean at which point can you change
That
employers?
means can I change employer? Without H1B.
All right,
H1B.
this is the last question I will answer because I've got to move on. But this is important enough for the whole community to understand. So there are various stages at which you can transfer your green card benefits. Okay. To when you change employer. How does this work? Let me explain. Let's say you're going through the POM process, which is what most people do, right? So if you leave an employer before the I-140 is approved, or at least before the employer is willing to have it proceed to completion, you don't get to carry anything with you. You get zero benefit. But once the I-140 is approved, you get the priority date. You have to start your green card all over again, but your priority date would be that of the old employer. Okay, so far? Okay. Now, notice I said that, well, let me make it clear. You don't have to keep that job till the I-140 is approved. The employer has to process the I-140 to completion. So, for example, let's say my I-140 was filed today, and I went to the employer and said, look, Satya Nadella wants me to give his job. He wants me to take over. Is that okay if I leave? And would you please process my I-140 to completion? The employer can do that. And you would still carry your priority date. So stage 1, priority date is yours to take with you wherever you go once the I-140 is approved. This is true even if the I-140 is revoked 2 days later.
Got it.
Number 1. Number 2, if your I-140 is approved and your dates became current and you filed the 485 and your 485 remained pending for 180 days, I-140 is approved, you can transfer your whole green card to any job which is same or similar. This is different from the first situation where you only took your priority date. In the second situation, you took your whole green card to a new company. They don't have to file again. And the job hang on. And the jobs don't have to be the same. It can be similar job. So for example, you go from being software developer to product manager. No problem.
Got it.
I gotta go to the next guy, okay?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tarun, go ahead, please. Tarun?
Hey, Rajiv. Thanks for this. So I had a question. My visa is expiring exactly from 1 year now. So 2025 August. That's my F1 student visa, 5 years. So in the last lottery as well, I did not get a selection. So I'm just trying to see what would be the best case scenario for me to hold my status and not be stuck. I want to choose the day one CPT, but I know there are certain limitations with day one CPT that I cannot travel and all that. But my employer is good and he's been supporting me since the last 2.5 years. And now he would also want to go for L1B or L1A in the future. So to keep my status the same and not cause any disturbance with the work and everything, what is the ideal route? Will it be like day one CPT or choose a different master? Because I have 1 year, do I go back now and get a stamping done for additional MBA or something, or choose the L1 route, or is there any other route?
So if I understand your question, one advice to all professionals here, gentlemen and ladies, maybe this is overreaching what my capacity is, but one thing I have learned in life, that learn to use fewer words to express ideas. The fewer words you use, the easier it is for the other person to understand. What I have understood you to say is this. If I have several options, let's say I don't get selected in H1B, if I have, let's say, CPT option or L1 option, which is better? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Okay. L1 option is better any day.
When do I start with that process?
The way it would work is, L1s come in 2 flavors, L1B, L1A, right? L1B is, L1B. L1B is, I keep confusing O1s and L1s sometimes. So L1B is for people who are specialized in their work and they're basically technical people. Okay. L1A is for executive or managerial people. L1A has the advantages, L1B has no advantages. So unless you can be executive or managerial level employee, L1 has zero benefit. You can, while you're on L1, you can, while you are working, you can keep applying for H1B every year. How does the process work? You have to go outside USA, remain physically outside USA working for the company's branch, etc. for at least 1 full year, 366 days. If you visit US in the meantime, let's say for 10 days, you have to spend extra 10 days outside. So after 1 year, you can then apply for an L1 and be admitted to the United States on L1A visa. Got it? Tarun?
Got it. Thanks. And if there is one more option, which is a marriage-based green card, so what is the timeline for that? When should I be ready with that option?
Are you going to get married to a US citizen or a green card holder?
Yes.
A US citizen, yeah, that's a very easy green card to process. Usually within a year, year and a half, and the processing time is the problematic time because sometimes you get stuck in a local office where the wait time is 2 years. Okay. But then normally what they do is if they approve your green card that late, they will give you a permanent green card rather than a temporary green card or conditional green card. Okay. So processing time is a combination of 2 factors. How long does the I-130 take and how long does the 485 take? 485 is a combination of 2 factors. How long do they take in the central processing facility and how long do they take to schedule interviews locally? So you will need to total these 2 times, I-130 time and I-485 time. They are available online. Okay.
Got it. So I can only work if I get those 2 approved.
No,
basically
you can
during
start.
that wait time.
No, you can start working once the I-130, 485 are filed. Government should approve your EAD within 90 days. They don't always do that. They should approve it, and if they are not approving it, you can try to expedite saying that I need a job, guys. I need to work.
Perfect. Thank you. This makes sense. 90 days it is then.
Yeah, so we hope so.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Good luck, Tarun. Okay, and now I kind of got lost. I know there were 2 people remaining when I pulled in new people. Rakesh Chaudhary was one of them. I remember him from his Napoleon pose. Then there was a lady.
It's Roshita.
Roshita. Acha, Roshita. Chalo, aap pehle aap chalo. Why don't you go first and we'll ask Rakesh later. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. So, I have a quick question on behalf of my friend. So, she's working for one specific company, and she did a multiple H1 lottery this time, but she didn't get picked for the first time, but she got picked for the second time, like the second round, which happened recently.
Right.
But then she have a joining letter for full time in next 2 weeks. So, what would you recommend for her? Like,
okay, hold on. Let's back up a little bit. What is her current status? You said she's on OPT?
Yeah, she's on OPT. Like she started her OPT from last January, like last Jan.
So her OPT is good till
like 2023 Jan.
Her OPT is good till January of 2024.
Yes.
Okay, so she can continue working on OPT. And the H1 can be kicked off anytime. So yeah, it's not a problem. What is the issue?
So you want her to leave the previous H1 and go to the new full-time offer what she's getting?
She can if she wants to. It's totally up to her.
Because that's a consult. Like she did a multiple, right? So she have got picked from another consultancy. Now she have got a full time, so she's confused. Is it okay? She can do both of them.
When you say full time, you mean there's an in-house job and there is a consulting job?
Yes.
Okay. So when you talk about in-house job, and first of all, you said she wants to keep both H1Bs going?
No, she doesn't have both. She just got picked for one of the consultancies that she did.
Acha.
But after during this period, she also got a new offer letter to join next 2 weeks.
Okay. So first of all, I'm not quite sure what your questions are, but let me see the issues that I see. Can she be working for another company while another company is doing her H1B? Sure. Once the H1B is approved and kicks in, then she has to join that other company.
Okay. So, see, for suppose I'm gonna say, she got picked from an ex consultancy, and now she got a new offer from Y.
Right.
So recently, so she can process the H1B process, all the process from this company, but then work for the Y company from next 2 weeks.
Okay. So X is the consulting company through whom the H1B selection has been made, and Y is the company for whom she has a in-house job offer. Okay.
Yes.
Now the question is, can she work in the interim while the H1B is being processed by X for the company Y? In other words, she just wants to join Y while the H1B for X is being processed. The answer is yes, sure, why not? Absolutely.
So she can do the process from Y, and she can still work for. Sorry. She can start the process like the. She can keep the packet and everything, H1B packet. She can start the packet, and then she can also work for the Y company.
Okay.
I'm confused. Like
yeah,
we are
I think,
confused on this topic. Basically,
I think I need a nap. I don't know. Okay, so let's back up.
I'm so sorry to confuse you.
No,
So,
don't worry.
see,
Don't worry.
I'm gonna put on that me. So see, I'm working at Samsung right now.
Achha.
So I just did, like, I'm just putting it in me for her case. So now I have did a multiple H1Bs. So what happened is I filed a case from Samsung and also from other consultancy which I know. When this process is happening, I got picked in the second round, but I already gave an interview for some other full time, and I got selected for the full time.
Right.
So I didn't get that from that full time which I got, neither from Samsung. I got from other ex consultancy which I did from the multiple.
That's not helping much, Rashida. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just explain this to you very simply. If one company picks me up for H1B and they are processing my H1B, until that H1B is approved, I can be working for any company because I have an OPT.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
So once it is approved, then I have to start
Then you have to,
for,
Once it is approved, then you have two options. Either you join that company from the date the H1B becomes effective, or you file an H1B transfer for the company that you're working for. And I think it's tricky. I think it's tricky to do it without joining the company because it looks like you're just trying to game the system. So you need to talk to the lawyers of the company that you're working for to see if that's a good move. If everything is done in good faith, there is no problem. But if you're trying to game the system, there is a big problem.
Got it. Now I got it. Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. Rakesh, go ahead.
Hey Rajiv. So my question is that I got laid off in the mid of July, and I'm currently looking for a new job. So I wanted to understand, like, what is the grace period for someone who's on the STEM OPT, and I also got approved for my H1B from the previous job.
Acha. So if you are on OPT, you said STEM OPT, right? So you have you have total of 90 plus 60 days for both OPTs.
Yeah, 150. Yeah.
90 plus 60, that's 150. So if you have utilized 30 days out of that, you have 120 left. So whatever time you have left out of the 150, if it is entire 150, that's your grace period for the OPT. But if you have gone on cap gap and you need time beyond cap gap, which is October 1st, you need to contact your DSO and ask them how to reactivate the service if it is possible. Okay, because when you file for an H1B change of status, your DSO would suspend your your OPT and they'll put you on cap, which is good till October. So what?
Okay.
Okay.
So can I like transfer the documents from the previous company? Will that be
Okay.
a move?
So now your question, Rakesh ji, is that can you change companies while you are on cap? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The answer is yes. You just need to coordinate with your DSO.
Okay. Yeah. So one more question. So since I got laid off and I got approved on H1B, there is no way that like I could like move forward with this case, right?
Didn't you?
Even though I find a new job.
So you got
So
laid
my
off from the H1B sponsoring company. Is that what you're saying?
No, I got approved for H1B in the second lottery.
ठीक है.
And I got laid off in June 16th.
Same company who
So-
got you the lottery?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Are they going to hire you back?
No.
Then you can't use that lottery at all. That's no good for you.
Okay.
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 Yeah, you
Sounds
can't
good.
transfer.
And my visa also like expires the next year of June.
Visa expiration is irrelevant. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey guys, everybody who's here, I've got to leave in 20 minutes. Okay. I'm going to try to stretch it as much as I can, but I'm not going to be able to answer questions beyond the people who are already here. I hate to do this to you. But this is what I've decided. And if you have any other suggestions, let me know. I'll try to do this every day at different times. Whenever I get a few minutes, I'll try to open a LinkedIn discussion with you folks. Just come in. We are doing this every Thursday anyway, once on LinkedIn, once on our private bridge. But today, this is all the time I have. I'll be able to answer the questions of people who are here. That might even take me over the 1:30 I have. Sorry about that, but this is the best I can do today. Ravi Kiranji, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I'll quickly summarize what status I am in, and I'll ask the question on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was on L1B, and I spent I was closing up my 5 years on L1B.
Mm-hmm.
That was completed in the month of May to 2023,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a luck on H1B, which starts from 1st of October. So my H1B petition was filed and it is approved. And in the month of May, I consulted you and you suggested to switch to B2 during this gap time or during this
Okay,
gap time.
before we go
And then-
further, Ravi Kiran, you're not calling to yell at me, are you?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I'm asking a follow-up question. No. Your suggestion was good and it helped me.
All right.
My H1B is approved.
I don't want you to
And,
say, Rajiv marwa diya yaar, ye kya chal raha hai?"
No. So my H1B is approved right now.
Uh-huh.
However, my wife had a luck with H1B
Acha.
while her H4 petition is pending.
Good.
So mine was approved, but her H4 is still pending. And my wife had a luck with H1B.
Okay.
And before we go ahead and filed this,
Mm-hmm.
there was already one pending petition for her for H4
That's no
because we
problem.
are on B2 during this.
Yeah, that's no problem. There can be multiple pendencies. That's not an issue. Did you say you lost your job? Is that what you told me on H1B?
No. I was on L1B and I maxed out my 5 years
5
in the
years.
month of May.
Then how did she get her
So,
H4?
I myself and my complete family switched over to B2.
Acha.
And once my H1 is approved, I put her an H4 application
So
from
you
October 1st.
got an H1 only for 1 year then?
My I-140 is approved, so it would.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
I have an approved I-140.
Yeah, there was a gap in the narrative. I didn't understand. Okay, good. Got it. Okay. So now the question is, she has a B2 to H4 pending, correct?
And B2 and L1B to B2, which is still pending. And on
okay.
top of it, I already filed H4
Okay.
for her. That is also pending.
Okay,
and now
got it.
the H1B petition comes in.
No problem. So what you do is, you get her H1 filed. You ask the government, please give us H1 within USA. These are extraordinary circumstances. Chances are about 1%, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Puchne mein kya harj hai? Just ask.
Okay.
So ask If they don't give it, no problem. Just go to Mexico and get your visa stamped and come back.
Okay, so in order to do that, her B1 is till 1st of October.
That doesn't matter. Just withdraw.
Okay, so
actually, the moment she crosses the border, the B1 and the H4 is automatically revoked. However, just to be sure, make sure that you revoke it before you leave.
I mean, if I revoke it before I leave, then I am out of status over here, isn't it?
You send a letter, it's not going to get, this is not real time. This is lots of latency here. So, yeah, don't worry. Just before you leave, 1 or 2 days before that, you can withdraw it.
Okay, got it. Just to summarize, she is okay to file as a change of status for H1B. If it is not approved as a change of status, travel to a consulate, get it approved and come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can continue to, and she can continue to stay here as long as these things are in pending state, the H1B, the H4 or whatever.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Good luck. Bhavna, go ahead, please.
Hey Rajiv, hello. Actually, my husband has a question, so I'll just pass it over to him.
Date or switch kya chal raha hai, yaar? You guys put the wife in front, then you bring the husband out. What's going on here?
No, actually, I just joined to understand, but then he actually has a question. Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Rajiv.
This
is Vishnu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, see, actually, I would like to explain my situation and then follow up question.
Okay.
So, I was in US on F1 visa. So, I worked after during that OPT period. Unfortunately, I did not get any H1B picked up.
Okay.
So, what I've done is after before completion of that OPT, I just switched it to a day one CPT. So, I was pursuing my PhD.
Okay.
So it was altogether 5.5 years I was over there. So after 5.5 years, I came back to India on a visit.
Okay.
So again, when I went back to stamping, unfortunately, I got rejected.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Saying
If
that,
you had called me, I would have told you don't go. If you go, you're not coming back. All right. So then what happened?
Yeah, but it was long time. So after 5.5 years, I got to come back just to see my parents and other personal commitments. So yes, I was expecting, but I thought let me try my luck. But I got rejected twice, saying that I'm a potential immigrant, something like that. So now my question is, but again it's been 3 years. In between this year, I again one of the employers offered me a H1B application. But when I explained him the situation, my history, he was reluctant to file H1B. He was
But
I
one
don't know,
second.
maybe there could be complications.
1 second. Are you in India right now, or did you come into the US?
No, I'm in India right now.
Oh boy. Okay. So dekho,
Yeah.
the past denials, they were just 214B denials, right? There's no 212A denial, is there?
No.
Okay.
Just
So
that
214B
potential
denials
immigrants.
have absolutely no impact on the H1B.
Okay.
Okay. So go for it. I don't see any problem with it.
But yeah, I think I lost that PhD. I think 1.5 years of
Yeah,
PhD.
I've had similar cases before. And by the way, if Bhavna gets her H1, then you can come on H4, no problem.
Yeah. Maybe that we
Yeah,
we wanted
be
to try,
very
but
nice
I
to
just want.
be very nice to Bhavna. Send her lots of gifts. That would help.
Sure. Yeah, I just want to understand this complication. If there are any complications, but okay, I think
Yeah. No
I should be good, right?
214B is no complication. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Vamsi, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Rajiv, for doing this.
My
I
pleasure.
myself benefited from this forum a couple of times, but
Sure.
my brother got into situation now. So he's currently on his OPT. He is working for Goldman Sachs for the last 2 years, and this was his last H1 lottery chance. So he applied from another consultancy as well, right? So his H1B didn't get picked through Goldman Sachs, but got picked through the company A.
Okay.
He decided to leave Goldman Sachs and started working for company A from May 18th.
Okay.
So he then transferred his full-time position at Goldman Sachs to contract, which would start from mid-September.
So hold on. So basically, he was working in-house for Goldman, But then
Yes.
he started working for them through the consultancy.
Yes, he hasn't started yet.
But
will
he
be
will. That's
starting
what.
next
That's the plan. Okay. Then.
Yes, yes. So company A applied for H1B petition on behalf of him.
Yeah, I got it. I got
using
it.
the
Aage chalo. I got it.
using the MSA
Yeah.
from a vendor of Goldman Sachs. So
Mhm.
then he received an RFE this morning. Don't know the reason yet because we didn't receive the notice yet.
So, well,
But
before we start putting out a fire, let's see what the fire is, right? So RFEs are very common. Question is, what is the
Yeah.
RFE about? So don't worry so much.
No,
Let's
no, no. Now the situation is his lottery through Goldman Sachs got picked in the second lottery yesterday. So Goldman Sachs is asking him to come back as full time, and they are ready to apply H1B, and they will do premium as well. So we are in a fix now. What
Well,
should he be doing? What do you
look,
suggest?
without knowing what the RFE is, okay, just going by the nature of the two jobs, obviously working in-house is better than working in a consulting situation where the jobs are uncertain. But even for Goldman Sachs, it's not guaranteed that the job won't be uncertain. But overall, little bit more certainty in the job, right? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, if there are multiple filings and they are objectionable, that problem has already been created. Filing another H1B through Goldman Sachs is not going to make it worse, in my opinion. But you should talk to the Goldman Sachs lawyers. So bottom line recommendation, I would file through Goldman Sachs. Okay.
So the idea is to withdraw from company A and file it through Goldman Sachs. Is that what you're suggesting, sir?
Why can't we keep both going if they are unconnected, completely unconnected companies? So the problem is because the project he has projected or he has presented to the government is Goldman Sachs project, it may make more sense to withdraw that. So yeah, I would go ahead and withdraw that and file through Goldman Sachs.
Got it. Thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome, sir. But talk to Goldman Sachs lawyers. I'm sure they are smart people. They should analyze the situation and give you their recommendation. All right?
Got it. Thank you.
Good luck. Guys, for those people who are just joining us, I'm repeating, I'm just going to be able to deal with the panel and answer their questions who are already here. I won't have time for new questions, but I intend to do this at least 4 days a week, different times. Just follow my social media and my, I'll whenever I have time, I'll bring you guys up and you are around. Otherwise, we'll meet every Thursday anyway. Okay. So sorry, I can't do more than what we have right now. Rasika, go ahead, please.
Hi, I had spoken to you a couple of weeks ago about the admission date that gets updated on I-94 when you re-enter US every time. So I had my old passport the last time, and they had my H1B was longer than my passport, so they only admitted me until November 2023. And now I have my new passport, and the advice that you had suggested, as well as through my conversations with email with USCIS customer care, was that to just travel outside US, stay for a couple of days, 3 days, and come back, so it gets updated. So I just had a question that in case I decide to change my job during this period, would the I-94 just get updated?
Yes. Yes.
Or do I need to still do the trip?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. You first of all, when does your current I-94 expire, Rasika?
November 2023.
So as long as you get an H1B filed, a transfer filed before November, you should not have to go outside to extend your I-94. It should be extended as a part of your transfer. Okay?
Okay. Even just filing is enough, not necessarily
Even filing is enough.
approval.
It doesn't have to be approved before November.
Okay,
right.
good to know. And one follow-up question was that my H1 started in October 2020, and my initial approval was until 2023 September. And then I changed my company in December 21, and they again gave me a fresh 3 years. So does that the total 6-year period that I potentially get from NH1, does it last only till October 26, or is it?
So your total time in the United States on an H1B cannot be more than 6 years. Total time in the United States. Anytime you spend outside USA can be recuperated. It doesn't matter how many H1Bs you get approved. Total time is your total presence in the United States is 6 years. Okay.
Okay, so if I change my company now, it will not give me a fresh 3 years. It will give me whatever 20 till October 2026 is possible.
How many years of H1B have you physically utilized?
Pretty much most of it now, 3 years or less than 3 years.
Then you have 3 more years left, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Kishore, go ahead, please. Kishorji.
Thank you, Rajiv, for hosting this session. I have 2 questions. I will really go quick. So first question is like I was laid off on February 6th and I had 2 months of grace time. And after that, my another employer told me that he has job and he promised me that he would transfer me to his payroll. But unfortunately, in the middle, the client has refused him that we are not hiring anymore. They said like that. But I have transferred my H1 right now, so it's in the pending state. So what will happen if I just leave India? Will it get cancelled or it will stay with the employer A itself?
Okay. So when you let me get this. First of all, you were with employer number 1 and you were working on H1B?
Yeah, I want H1B. I was
and you lost that job. Now employer number 2 within the 60 days has filed another H1B for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So your question is, if I leave, do I still get my H1B or do I lose my H1B? The answer is you still get the H1B approval, but just go get visa stamping and come back whenever you're ready.
But I don't have a job, right? So for the job,
okay. If the job is gone, if the job is gone, even if they approve the H1B, what good is it? You should not travel on that. So you need to transfer that H1B. And actually, you can file an H1B even from outside the US while all these cases are still pending.
Okay, you mean like I can travel on H1B transfer pending state, right?
You can't come back. It's not called travel. It's called exiting US. Travel means you're coming back. You can't come back without an H1B visa and a new approval.
Okay, so it good is what is your recommendation? Should I stay in US till I get a new job?
Well, you said your 60 days started in February, right?
Yeah, February, yeah.
And if we use the grace period February, March, so April, May, June, July, I think you should leave.
I should leave India?
You should leave for India, yes, sir. You shouldn't leave India, but you should leave for India, maybe.
But I don't have a job right now for coming back, right?
Yeah, you have to keep applying from there because the problem is once the H1B is revoked, okay, which it will be, you'll start accruing unlawful presence. Unlawful presence of 180 days bars you from coming back to the United States for 3 years.
Okay. No, but I'm with the employer B in a bench, right?
Yeah, you are with employer B and their petition is still pending, right?
Yeah.
And it was filed within the 60-day grace period, right?
Yeah. That's
once that is denied or revoked, your unlawful presence begins. Right now there isn't any. Okay, as long as the case is pending, timely filed case pending, you don't have unlawful presence. But if you are not able to procure a job, it will start once the petition is denied or revoked. Makes sense?
But it's been like 3 months. They haven't approved my petition. So do I have chances of RFE?
That's difficult to say. You didn't file premium, right?
I didn't do premium. I did regular.
It's impossible for me to predict that, sir. Sorry.
So normally how many months it will take? Like 3 to 4 months?
Go online and figure it out. It tells you right there. I don't know what type, but okay. I don't keep track of those things. Okay.
Okay. Another question is like, so if I leave India without running any, without being in the status, so will I get back my H1B or it will be cancelled?
Okay. So first of all, there is no negative marking here. Okay. If you have been out of status or even unlawfully present for up to 179 days, you don't get any negative marking for H1B in the future. But the moment you hit 180 days, that's when the negative marking is 3 years you can't come back. Okay, so but keeping in mind all these issues about unlawful presence, etc., it's something you need to consider whether going outside USA makes more sense or being here makes more sense. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no easy answer here. It all depends upon whether it's easier to find another job from outside USA or inside USA.
Okay.
Good luck.
So
Kishore.
I don't have any issue with the visa, right?
No, because you have a case pending. As long as it is pending, you're not accruing unlawful presence.
So I cannot travel to India and pending.
You can travel, you can't come back. Traveling is not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's what. I'm coming back to US. I'm talking about coming back to
See,
US.
coming back to you, I would be very reluctant because that H1B doesn't have a project anymore. So coming back on that, normally if you have a case pending and it's a good case, traveling is not an issue and you have a visa stamping. But in your case, I would be very reluctant to advise to travel and come back. Don't do that.
Yeah, even I haven't stamped my first H1B.
Yeah, then you need stamping also. They're not going to give you stamping without approval.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome, Kishore. Good luck. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Aishwarya, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. I have one question regarding my visa status. I'm currently on F1 student OPT. I was working for a Blvd from Feb, and my H1B got picked and filed. Now, I am currently awaiting for H1B. However, I got laid off on 25th July and will be on payroll until 1st September.
Okay.
So, company said that my H1B will be approved in few weeks. So, I might be on H1B from 1st October. Also, they need to withdraw it by 29 September. So, if I don't get another job by 29 September, will I still be on H1B from 1st October with grace period of 60 days? Or I need to find a job before 29 September to maintain my H1B status and also to transfer it?
Aishwarya ji, this is what I've understood you to say. You have an employer who has filed an H1B, but that job is gone. Okay.
Yes.
And that H1B would become effective only on October 1st, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that H1B approved? No, it's still pending.
It's still pending.
Okay. So if they withdraw your H1B on September 29th, you are not exempt from the quota. Okay. Because it's before October 1st. That means you will be back in the quota problem. It doesn't matter whether you do an H1B transfer or whatever you do, because the first employer who filed for your quota H1B, lottery H1B, they are withdrawing it before October 1st. That lottery is gone. That H1B is gone.
But they said that before we withdraw, if I find an employer,
that's not my understanding.
Okay.
Unfortunately, USCIS has very poorly documented these procedures. But my understanding is, if the petition is withdrawn before October 1st, that transfer is not going to help you. However, if the petition is withdrawn on or after October 1st, that transfer is fine.
Okay. So I need to go back on F1 OPT, right?
That is also problematic. If you want to go back on F1 OPT, then you need to have a withdrawal approved by the USCIS. Otherwise, they can't reinstate your service. So I just had a conversation with a community member a couple of days ago. His withdrawal took only like 32 days. Before that, the withdrawals were taking months upon months upon months. So if the official withdrawal is within a month or so, then you can activate your service.
Okay. So my first thing should be like go back on F1 OPT ASAP.
Yeah, your first thing should be to tell the employer, if you are going to withdraw on September, whatever, withdraw it now, please. Withdraw it now.
Okay.
So that I can get my service reinstated as quickly as possible.
Okay. And what if they withdraw on 29th? I mean, and that petition will take some time, as they said. So what will be my status from 1st October?
The good Lord only knows. But within 32 days, 33 days, if it gets withdrawn, you can be reinstated. Your service can be reinstated.
Okay. So until my status is changed, I can't work for another organization,
No, ma'am.
right?
I don't see how. No.
Okay.
All right.
So how will I stop my OPT period from 1st September? Because if
What do you mean?
if my
Hold on. That question doesn't make sense. How will I stop my OPT period from?
no, not in the sense. I mean, because of my status issues, even if I withdraw, even if they withdraw it today or tomorrow, and it will take 30 to 32 days. So, what will be my status from 1st September in that case?
You have no status. You're waiting for the status to be restored. And it should be restored because you're entitled to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Shreyas, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah. So I'll start with what my current status is. So I am on day 1 CPT pursuing PhD. I pursued only one master's, and after 3 years, I decided to pursue PhD. So what my question is, last time we spoke about if I go to India to renew my F1 visa, based on my bachelor's and PhD route, I shouldn't have an issue with that. And you told someone earlier in the call that it's a long shot to go and do that. But let's assuming that I'm ready to take that risk and still go. The question I have is, if for the H1B registration this time, I did multiple applications, and in that multiple were picked, but I didn't go ahead and file for any. So can the stamping officer who will renew my F1 check those multiple H1, and can that be a
I doubt that very much, because lottery is not of concern to the consulate. They hardly ever. I don't see why they would be looking at it unless they revise their procedures drastically between now and the time you apply for your visa. I don't think that should be a problem.
Got it. Yes. Okay. And I'm trying to go in December. And just a quick follow up is, for the second registration through my last employer. So I am without an employer right now, but my registration was put earlier this year from one of the employers.
Okay.
So I've reached out to them if mine is picked, and if it is picked in the second lottery, and if I can talk about rehire and stuff, but I have not received a response from them.
Okay.
So legally, should an employer inform if a registration is picked or not?
No, there's no legal obligation. No.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. That's all, sir. Thank you so much.
Good luck, Shesh. Shah Saab, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv sir. Thank you for conducting this very fast. Completed my master in 2020. 21, I started my PhD on day 1 CPT. My company has filed my H1 3 times. This was my 3rd time, but I didn't pick it up. I am still on day 1 CPT. That will be completing on March 2025. So I have my next chance in March 2024 last time. Should I process any other visa right now?
Well, you are on CPT, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean, how many visas do you really need? I think CPT is okay for now.
No, I'm talking about any EB2 or.
Yeah, but Shah Saab, you are probably India born, right?
Correct.
Are you married?
I am married. I have my citizen daughter, 1 year old, and I have my wife. She's on F2.
Is she also India born, your wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, applying for a green card is not a substitute for having a present visa, because green cards are taking 10-15 years. And Correct. That doesn't give you work authorization till the very end of the process. So green card is not a solution to your immediate problems.
So I'm in clinical research. That is completing. Should I go ahead with the EB2 NIW? Do you think so?
See, this is another thing I want to cover for the community. EB2 NIW is not much use for people born in India as far as the speed of the green card is concerned. But to have an I-140 approved and have the priority date it has its own advantages. It also gives you an option to extend your H1B beyond 6 years. So there's marginal advantages, but it does not give you any immediate advantage. Doesn't get you work authorization. Okay. So should you apply? Well, it depends. I mean, if what you're looking for, but if you're looking for work authorization, that's not going to be helped with an NIW petition. Note also, an NIW is primarily based on two things. Number one, what are you going to do for the US that some other worker is not doing? It has to be something more than normal, right? And that's the trend I'm seeing. Within that same criterion, so whatever you do should be in the interest of the nation, not of a particular company or a particular region. Normally they want larger impact. So that's one side. Second side is, even if you have a project in mind, so that, for example, I'm going to develop this software that is going to do XYZ in the healthcare industry, there should be interest in your work in the United States. One or two companies should be able to say that, yeah, they want to work with you once you get your green card. Those are the two primary things in NIW. It's not so much about your qualifications. So if I were you, I don't know what I would do. Shah's lots of money, right? How about investment?
No, not right now. No, no option.
Yeah, there is the green card. Only option is EB1A/B. That is relatively quick. EB1C if you work for a multinational. Other than that, your CPT is the only option you have. Okay.
Okay, so as of now, I am just reliable on H1 if it gets picked up.
That is correct.
Also, can my wife and daughter can visit India now or no? Not me.
They have F2?
My wife has F2. My daughter is citizen.
When does the
She's 1 year old.
When does the F2 expire, or is it already expired?
2025.
Yes, they should be able to visit.
Okay, just because of my daughter?
No, because she has an F2 visa stamped. Now, of course, if the Customs and Border Protection starts quizzing her in detail, they could give a problem. But that's difficult to predict, but it's definitely less dangerous than applying for a visa.
Gotcha. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I like I told you, I won't have time to deal with other questions today, but I'm going to try to talk with you every day as much as I can. So that will make things a little easier. If you are connected with me and you absolutely have an emergency that you just must talk to me today, then just send me a direct message and I'll pull you up or I'll call you. But I won't have time for more questions. Benedict, go ahead, please. Benedict.
Hey, hi Rajiv. Yeah, thanks for doing that. I have two quick questions. So I'll tell my situation first. So I had a PhD admit in 2019 and I got a 221G because of technology alert list. So I had been given 4 years visa to be precise. So the visa is already expired, but I'm in US right now. So it expired in July 30, 2023. But my STEM OPT status is still 2024 June. So I got converted to masters to be precise. So right now I'm working. My status of STEM OPT is till June 2024. Can I go to India? Actually, I had scheduled a visa appointment, but I got the job right now. I'm in the job. So, but if I had scheduled a Dropbox, if I go to India to renew my F1 visa for 1 year, or like let's say right now it's 6 months, or can I do that? Like, is it wise to do that? Like for 6 months renewal, or like if I go to India in December?
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Your visa has expired or is still about to expire?
It's expired. It got expired on July 30.
Okay. When you got the technology alert list processing, were you in your bachelor's degree program? Oh, I think.
No. I had admitted to PhD basically from India. So the first F1 visa itself was a PhD admit F1 visa.
And you are on the same program? No change in the program?
No. I had changed the program to masters. That's why I'm on OPT right now.
So you went from PhD down to masters?
Yeah.
I can't predict if they're going to give you another TAL delay. So
No, they. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's one thing. They
Yeah.
might, you don't
Okay.
know that when there's a change in program. Number one. Number two, if you have a good explanation why you went from PhD to master's, that's something they will consider. But it's very difficult for me to predict how it's going to go. I can't tell you that it's a safe bet. I can't tell you it's an unsafe bet. Difficult for me to
Yeah.
predict.
Yeah.
There are some variables,
Because,
Benedict. I can't predict how it's going to go.
okay, there are like less amount of time they might deny or they
You
might not
never
deny.
know. Never know what they're going to do. You went in for a PhD, then you dropped back. Now you got just 6 months remaining in your program. You want us to give you a visa. What's going on? So I mean, don't know how to answer that situation.
But it is a Dropbox. Even the Dropbox, the rejections might be there, or else like, interview might be there.
Dropbox is not a solution to all problems. They can always say
Yeah.
we want to interview, right? So
Got it.
you know what you could do, Benedict, if you have if you are in the university and the university is willing to offer you a job, do a non-profit, do a quota exempt H1B and then travel.
Okay. Till quota exempt university based H1B, then I can
Then travel, and they're not going to stop you from H1B.
Yeah, that's right. And also, I have another question. So from January to this July, I was jobless, like I was unemployed. But then I had been given an offer letter from my consultancy or my consulting firm. But they had not ran the payroll for the 150 days got over on Jan to June. May, sorry. Yeah, May. But in June, only for June, I didn't ran any payroll. From July, I started the payroll. Will I be facing any problem?
Have you gone over? Have you gone over? But first of all, are you on CPT or OPT? I forgot.
OPT. I'm on STEM OPT right now.
STEM OPT. And you have exhausted your 150 days?
Yeah, I had already exhausted, and I exhausted the 150 days.
But you've not gone over them, have you?
No, I had gone over them for 1 month. I just got a job right now.
You're not gonna get an
For 1
H1.
month.
You're not gonna get an H1B change of status. You have to go outside USA to get visa stamping. So apply for H1B, leave, get your visa stamping, and come back. You should be okay.
Okay, Raj. Thank you. Yeah.
Good luck.
That's it. Thanks for the questions.
You're welcome. Utkarsh, go ahead, please.
Hey, Rajiv. Thank you. I know it's already late for you, but I'll quickly explain my situation and then I'll put the question for you. So I was working with Verizon and I got impacted. My last day of work there was 30th of June. And I'm on H1B, so I'm running through the grace period right now. And my last day is end of August for that. So, and I'm trying to look for jobs, but I'm yet to find one. And I'm thinking to transfer to H4. My wife has H1B, but she does not have I-140 and all those things. So I'm just trying to understand, say if I file for H4 and if I get a receipt for that, would I be able to stay in the US on the receipt and continue looking for a job?
Utkarsh, you don't need a receipt. You just need a timely, complete filing. So let's say that my 60 days are expiring tomorrow, and I have filed my H4 with proper filing fees, all the documentation. It has been received by the USCIS. Today, my 60 days are expiring tomorrow. That's good enough because I got the petition filed. Okay. The receipt is merely evidence of the filing. It is the filing that protects you, not the evidence of the filing.
Got it. So just another question on this. I know the process for H4 takes like 3 to 4 months to get approved. And say if I'm able to find a job before that, I can just cancel my H4 petition and then ask the employer to transfer my H1. But say if the H4 gets approved, what happens in that case? Would I still be able to get my H1 back or no?
Well, so your question is, if I transfer from H1 to H4, do I lose my H1? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, no, well, you don't lose it. You can go back to H1, no problem.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of my concerns. Yeah.
No problem.
That's all
No
my
problem.
questions.
Good luck. Okay. So let me just go over. I have about 40, 50 messages in my mailbox. Let me see if there is somebody who's an urgent issue. Give me 1 second. So Sharad, Sushma, let's see what Sushma says. Sushma, are you here? No, she has left. Okay. Well, guys, anybody who has left me a message, I usually send a voice message or a mail, usually within a day or two. So, you'll be hearing from me, and I'm going to try to join you again tomorrow. It's good talking to all of you. Take good care. Bye-bye.